Hi, it's Kate Ramsey from Fabulous Felt, and I'm gonna show you how to make basic felted square. You will need 50 centimeters of wool roving, and you will need a piece of cloth to put underneath and 2 pieces of bubble wrap. First bubble wrap bubbles down, and on that we're gonna lay out the wool. So you're gonna give the kids a piece of wool and then ask them to divide it lengthwise into 2 pieces. Take one of it and start laying out the wool by placing the wool on the edge of the bubble wrap, and then putting the hand on the piece of wool and pulling. And again, and again, and again. If they hold the wool too close to the hand, it's impossible to pull it. So they have to hold it quite far away, okay? And their hand has to be positioned on the tip of the remaining wool. Okay, so just place the wool and then hold it. Place the wool and then hold it. They're gonna do 3 rows of that wool. Yeah. So they're gonna get a little square like that. Once they've done that, they're gonna rotate the square. So now the wool is directed vertically, and they're gonna lay out the wool horizontally. It's easier to do it this way than asking the kids to lay the wool out in 2 different directions, because they get confused. And exactly the same principle applies. That is, you're gonna put the wool on the top of it and just secure it with your fingers and pull. Put the wool, secure it with your fingers and pull. Put the wool, secure it with your fingers and pull. Okay, and once they've done that, this is they can pat it down so it sticks together. This is a piece that can be felted. So rotate it back to the initial position. Ask the kids to put their hands in the water and just let the water drip like that over the wool. That's the easiest way to do so. It doesn't require any specific equipment, no sprinklers needed or anything like that. Just wet the wool out. And what we do next is put the wrap bubbles down and then start pressing the wool in both directions, just to make sure that it's flat. Okay. And once they've done that, they have a wet piece of wool that could be used to as a basis for drawing of a shape or anything else they would like to draw. So one thing they have to learn is the idea of a wisp of rowing that is very thin. Because in my practice, when I saw the kids working with wool, they would put that thick a thread or a piece of wool that thick on the design, and the problem with it is even that thickness, if it's laid out as an outline, it's gonna go very, very thick and very, very wide, and it just doesn't look good. So what I teach kids is to just to understand how to pull the wool from the roving. So what you do is do this, okay? Show them that you just secure or take a little pinch of wool and then just peel it apart, and you have to take that pinch in the middle like that. So ask them to do a couple of these strands, okay? and then they can start laying out their design. So what most of my students did, they would lay out the outline first, okay, and then fill it up with the design in the center. So what they do is take a bit of wool and just place it in the middle, sticking it to the center of the design. How do they get the piece of wool so small? Again, the same principle applies. They just do, on the side of the table, they just do smaller wisps, so they have something to use for afterwards. I had a student that was 7 years old, and she was perfectly happy to use this principle in felt making. Now, when we make in felt, we use solution of water and fairy washing up liquid. So I'm gonna add a little squirt of fairy washing up liquid. This is gonna make the water kind of greenish, slightly greenish in the color, and it gives a bit of suds and foam. So basically, they can use plastic to just flatten the design out, just to see what it's gonna look like. Okay, and they can start adding more colors to it. So, for instance, something like this, something like that. But the principle as such is that it has to be very, very fine wisps. What I'm going to do is going to use a thicker wisp of wool, and it's going to show you, and it's gonna stretch during the felt making. It's going to get wider and wider. So once I lay out my design, we're going to try to felt it. Okay. Now kids tend to use big chunks of wool, and the most important, as I said, principle of this exercise is not to use big chunks of wool because the design is not going to look good. I'm going to put something on the side like that, few wisps like that, something like this on the edge, just to give you some ideas how felt, what sort of effects could be achieved in felt making. And once we've done that, once the design is ready, we're just going to cover it with the bubble wrap and secure it with a little rubber band. The most important thing is it has to be wound up tightly, otherwise the whole design is gonna open up. I'm just gonna get the rubber band. Yeah. So you will apply 3 rubber bands to it. 1, 2 and 3, quite tight, maybe 4. Actually this one could be wound up another time. And now we're going to ask the kids to roll it on the plastic 100 times. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What we are doing is asking them to put quite a lot of pressure. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60. Make sure that the rubber band is wound up twice, so it holds the bubble wrap well and the design inside doesn't move, and the bubble wrap is wound up tightly, and that the kids do apply pressure. The cloth underneath is to collect all the water that is coming out of the design, and also to give a grip so we can roll against it. And also, when kids are going to be rolling, they have smaller hands, so their hands are going to be rolling this part, but then these hands have to be moved into the center to felt the central part of it. 70, 80, 90 and 100. Okay, and now we're going to open it up and just see how the design is doing. Okay, so this is what the design looks like. It has shrunk. It was a perfect square, but it has shrunk because we were rubbing it in one direction. That's why it is important to open up the design, stretch it out a bit, yeah, and then flip it over so it is, so the direction that it was rubbed, that direction, is left in peace, and now we're going to rub the other side of the design, the other edge of the design. We can add some more water to it. Okay, and just wrap it around tightly again. And rub it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have a very strong hand, so I just rubbed 50 times, but for kids 100 times it might not produce super well felted felt. So how on earth do you know that the piece is felted? Basically, you can lift the piece and you can pinch test it. So try to grab a pinch of wool, and if it holds together, that means the piece is felted. So once the piece holds together like that, you can let the kids play with it, allow them to scrunch the wool up into a ball and rub it for a minute or two, and then stretch all the elements that are sticking out of the piece, yeah, and rub it again. It is very important, felt making, is to make sure that the piece is felted, stretched, felted, stretched, felted, stretched, because it gives it a really lovely finish and smoothness. So once we've done that, the piece is ready. The same principle applies to any of the things that you make in felt, i.e. there has to be 2 layers, one in horizontal direction, one in the vertical direction, and then on the top of that one can put any design one wants to be added. And this is a basic tutorial in felt making. Thank you.